Do you ever feel like you're just checked out? Like you're floating through your days, unmotivated, uninspired, or emotionally numb? That's not laziness, that's apathy. And maybe it's a soul's cry for help. And if you're like me, you're feeling it strong now because we're living in a world where there's so much emotional intensity that many of us use apathy and disconnection as a coping strategy to navigate all the things we can't control. If that's you, this video is coming right on time. Sometimes we stop caring, not because we don't have a heart, but because we've been overwhelmed for far too long. Maybe you felt exhausted by disappointment, betrayal, or constant effort with no return. Maybe you're fatigued from seeing all the emotional intensity everywhere in the media. Maybe you've reached a point where feeling nothing feels safer than feeling everything. Disconnection can be a coping strategy, but it's not where we're meant to live. Hi, I'm Candice Rasa with Astromatrix, the astrology app that helps you uncover your soul's blueprint and understand your karmic path. I'm also a licensed therapist, a social worker, and a channel for the Akashic Records. In my work, I see apathy not as a failure, but as a signal that we are overwhelmed. It's a sign that your soul is longing for reconnection, that is feeling safe and grounded, and a need to return to vitality. In this video, you'll learn what apathy and emotional disconnection really mean on an energetic level, how they show up in your astrology chart, and how to shift them through an experiential Akashic Records meditation and some emotional body connection exercises. Plus, I'll give you 3 powerful takeaways to help reignite your soul spark today. In Dr. David Hawking's map of consciousness, apathy vibrates at the level 50, just above guilt and shame, and far below the threshold of empowerment. It's a frequency of helplessness, emotional paralysis, and surrender of will. Many people live in apathy without even realizing it. They live disconnected from joy, purpose, and even their own needs, just trying to survive, to get the tasks done, to check the things off, to manage all the balls in the air. But when we bring conscious awareness to this state, we can change it. We can rise to desire, 125, courage, 200, and eventually love, 500. You can't selectively numb emotion. So if you are feeling apathetic, you can't feel love at its highest potential. And I know that's something we all really crave. Apathy, if you're new to this word, is the internal feeling of shutdown that happens when we feel absolutely powerless. It can look like procrastination, numbing, burnout, emotional detachment, fogginess. Disconnection often follows this. So we end up cutting ourselves off from others, our bodies, our souls. But these states are not fixed. They are symptoms. And every symptom has a message. And often these messages are about a call to return to personal emotional safety. Let's look at our birth chart to see where this might show up. So astrologically, apathy and disconnection are often linked to Saturn when it is overly restrictive, especially in the 12th house or in aspect to Neptune in Moon. Neptune is notorious as the disillusioned kind of foggy energy, and it can create emotional escapism for a lot of us, particularly when it's in hard aspects to Mercury, the Sun, or Mars. Moon in Capricorn or Aquarius are other great signs to look for and can create a sense of emotional aloofness as learned as a real important survival strategy. Lastly, look for Chiron and water signs, especially when squaring Venus or the moon, and that could lead to just so much overwhelm with emotion that people tend to shut down. Here's an Astromatrix insight tip. Check your Saturn-Neptune for placements in the 12th house. These placements may show where your soul can learn to how to reclaim and really a call to a need for more interpersonal self-care after long periods of social exposure. This placement is here to teach you how to feel again, safely, deeply, within the boundaries of a world that's not overwhelming for you. So let's talk a little bit about how we get stuck in this, and how it interferes with relationships and goals. So apathy makes it hard to care, right? It makes us hard to show up, hard to try, how to be in with our partners and our jobs, with our children, with our family. It blunts emotion and it kills motivation. You may stop pursuing your goals entirely or avoid emotional intimacy in relationships or delay important decisions. Disconnection builds walls around the heart center so that nothing can get in. But nothing meaningful can get out either, and that's the real problem with this. In this state, life becomes maintenance instead of magic. So you might be experiencing some pain points if you find yourself in this state. So you'll want to take a note of this. If you're having any of these experiences, you're likely to be struggling with these emotions. So here are some examples. Scrolling endlessly but feeling nothing. The doom scrolling black hole. Saying, I'm fine, but feeling empty inside. Wanting change but having no energy to pursue it. Feeling numb during experiences that once brought you joy. Avoiding spiritual or emotional practices because they feel way too hard or too far away from you. This is what apathy is. It's not who you are. It's where you are, and it can change. Pay attention to the feeling state of being disconnected and unaware of yourself. That is the hallmark of apathy. So it's here to teach us also, and here's a list of things around that. So it can show us where we need to return to ourselves. It can show us where we have trauma or ancestral issues in the past where we just shut down in order to survive. It teaches us that we can feel alive if we want to, that withdrawal can be a healthy pause or a boundary, not a permanent state. And when approached with compassion, these emotions guide us back to presence, to embodiment, and to soul truth. They invite us to grieve whatever we've buried, to be angry about what we can't control, and to feel vulnerability again, and to reclaim what has been lost. These are the gifts. These are the messages of this state. So you know you're in a lower state of consciousness when you are struggling to get out of your bed, you are feeling loss of interest in your relationships, and you are just watching life pass you by. These are invitations for you to step in. So let's practice stepping in now. We're going to do a little guided Akashic meditation. And if you're new, the Akashic Records is a 12th dimensional library that holds the record of all of your past lifetimes on the quantum field, not just from you, but from your ancestry and all the time spaces you've existed. So it's sort of like this powerful internet of the soul. So we're going to return to that today and do some deeper emotional connection with ourselves. And we're going to do a body exercise as well. So we're going to start by closing our eyes wherever you are. And I like to do a little wiggle first. So we kind of wiggle and move the tension out through the body a little bit. And perhaps putting one hand over the heart center and one hand over the belly and receiving breath, right? When we receive breath, we become intimately aware that something is breathing us, some kind of divine force. And as we breathe in and we exhale out, we are sort of surrendering to this moment, to what is and what we feel. And when we do that again, we soften even more into an intimacy within ourselves. Continue this now as this simple practice of connection to self through breath and the awareness of divinity that is breathing us tunes us in to our true emotional self. As you breathe, feel your body supported by the earth. Let yourself sink into this moment. Visualize a soft golden spiral of light above your head and allow that spiral of light to descend upon your whole body. Breathing with consciousness, not judging or forcing. Set this intention now. I now open the Akashic Records of my soul to receive healing around apathy and disconnection. Immediately feeling the warmth of this golden energy float all throughout your form. Let it ripple like waves and relax you even more. We are now going to call forward a memory. When did I first begin to disconnect from myself or others? When did I begin to do this to feel safe? Inviting you now to go back into time-space and letting a memory come forward. If you feel an intensity, you can always open your eyes and breathe with us. But if you're capable of receiving this image or memory, keep your eyes closed and continue to breathe. As you allow this image, feeling, or sense to arise, perhaps from childhood, a past life, or an ancestral memory, witness all of this without judgment. Ask your soul, how did you serve me? How did it protect me to disconnect? Also ask, is there a part of me ready to come back online now? Feel the answer in your heart. Maybe it's a warmth, it's a loud yes. There's a sense of I'm ready. Maybe there's a fear and a restriction here. Whatever you receive, just breathe gently and slowly. What part of me is ready to come back online now? And now allow a very gentle golden flame to continue to burn, not just around you in the spiral formation, but also in your heart center. Let that flame continue to burn, not burn away the fear or the need to protect, but to amplify the safety that is within you. Warming the spaces that have gone cold like a beautiful fire in the winter. The part of you that feels alone, let warmth bring you in. The part of you that feels disconnected, let the warmth wrap you. And the part of you that feels scared, let this fire hug you. Visualizing this more and expanding this fire, now put your hands onto your chest, both hands underneath your collarbone. And let yourself tap just for a moment in this space. And as we tap, we're going to affirm together, I am ready to feel. I am ready to return. I am safe in this moment, in this body. I am ready to feel. I am ready to return. I am safe in this moment and in this body. One more time. I am ready to feel. I am ready to return. I am safe in this moment and in this body. Receiving another breath, putting your hands kind of down and open in a receptive state. Wiggle your fingers and toes. Stretch and come back into this present moment. And let yourself receive that healing. As you come back to this space, we're going to invite you here to lean in a little deeper to things you can continue to do around this with 3 of my favorite tips for apathy and disconnection. Number 1, and this might be surprising, take some alone time, not to engage in escapism, but some alone time to feel joy and feel safety in your emotional vulnerability. Maybe this is journaling. Maybe this is prayer. Maybe this is meditation. Maybe it's some sort of oracle or divinity practice. Maybe it's a walk in nature, an exercise routine where you aren't putting any media in. You're not taking in. You are receiving feedback from yourself. So step 1, some alone time where you receive feedback from yourself. Number 2, we get sick in the company of others. We get well in the company of others. Find a trusted friend or mentor that you can talk openly about your difficult feelings with. Being with people who see us, who understand us, is a fundamental human need. And lastly, choose the ever important practice of daily acceptance. I invite you to borrow a phrase from Louise Hay by looking in the mirror and saying over and over again, I approve of myself, I approve of myself, I approve of myself. While it sounds hokey, it works. Your cells are listening all the time. And when we don't feel safe and we are judging ourselves for how we're showing up, we aren't allowing softness to happen. And you'd be surprised by how far approval gets you. Apathy and disconnection may feel like survival, but your soul is here to thrive. With awareness, astrology, and Akashic remembrance, you can move from numbness to aliveness, from checking out to showing up. Your spirit never gave up on you. It's just been waiting for you to return. If you've liked this video, please subscribe and like and share. You can also check out Astro Matrix app and follow me, Candace Rasa, Rasa Healing, on Instagram, Facebook, and our Mighty Network. Until we meet next time, happy practicing and connection with yourself.